through them like in order, like, where you started from and what kind of made you decide, fuck this, I'm traveling all the time. Sort of thing. If that's cool with you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we should probably do a shot of tequila first.
Mm-hmm. Customary.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's good.
That's our favorite tequila. What's that called?
Camarena.
This episode is brought to you by
Camarena tequila.
Camarena Tequila. Beer, 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 beer. I think we just made $10 right there.
Yeah. Or maybe we have to pay them now.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome back to the Trice Life podcast. We have in-house, and by house means studio, and by studio we mean our living room. Rachelle Berke.
Whoop.
Berke.
Whoop, whoop.
What is that? What do kids call it? A handle? What's your handle?
My handle?
Miss Berkey? Is that?
Oh, on Instagram. Yeah, Miss Berkey.
Yeah, is that what we should call you now from now on?
No.
You're not Rachelle anymore. You're Miss Berkey.
Miss Berkey. Forever Miss.
Forever Miss.
Yeah.
So we want to have you on because, well, we've been living vicariously through you as you get to travel the world. Mm-hmm. We hate you a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But we'll never tell you to your face except right now.
Yeah.
So we just kind of want to talk about all your kick-ass travels and think like tips and tricks and where you've been and all that stuff. So let's start at the beginning. What was like your first big trip and what kind of made you decide, you know what, I'm traveling now. This is my life now.
Well, I guess I traveled a lot in the States, and then I really wanted to go to New Zealand and Bora Bora. And so it was like I was working a lot of overtime. So I was like, this is the time to do it. So I was like, actually, I booked that one through a travel agent. So I probably would never do that again now. But
how come?
I don't know. It's just like I found now that I like to plan all my routes and everything like by myself. So it's like I guess I know like the tips and the tricks and all that now. So it's just like,
and it's unnecessary with the, today's technology. You don't need it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you pay more because it's a travel agent?
For sure. Like I paid
really?
a lot of money for that trip. Like probably more than.
And do you get anything because it's a travel agent? Like, you get
no, and they
more
didn't even
pop. I don't know.
they didn't even like check in with me after. So that, like I found that like really impersonable. It's like you gave them all that money and then they never even checked in.
That's the whole point of it, right? So you're dealing with a human. And
yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, that's kind of disappointing. So I was like kind of disappointed with that. But
I think the travel agent thing is better if you're traveling for business.
For sure.
Because I used to use a travel agent when I used to book for this one guy. He would go to India a couple times a month. And I'm like, well, she's going to know better than I do.
Exactly.
How to get him there.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when it's, for fun, if you get hung up somewhere for like a little bit, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen anymore. Like it's just so much easier to plan your own stuff now.
Oh yeah. And I mean, as a person who works in retail, realizing that everything online is literally taking my job away. That's another job. Unfortunately, it's probably going to go away.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
be honest, 3 clicks of the mouse and I'm booked. So your first big trip, where did you go?
Well, New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 2 weeks in New Zealand. Loved it.
Yeah.
I actually want to go back. I love the people. Same with like Australia. I found like New Zealanders and like Aussies like to be very friendly people. Like they're very similar to Canadians.
Yeah, I hear that lots.
Yeah. So it's just like, I really like that.
Did you do Australia and New Zealand or just New Zealand?
No, just New Zealand. I did Australia last year, but
could you do, can you do New Zealand in 2 weeks or is that not enough time?
Not enough time.
Oh, wow.
It was rushed. Like
really?
It was, yeah. Like I felt like, because I did North and South Island. And so, there's definitely like Queenstown. I would have liked to spend more time there. Like there's so much adventure things to do. And anybody who knows me, like I love adventure. So I'm just like, I could have spent probably 2 weeks there and like still have had more things to do there.
Just in the top part kind of thing or whatever.
That was South Island. Yeah. But still like,
I got asked, did you do the Lord of the Rings stuff?
I did the Hobbiton.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
I would spend days there.
I took a private plane to the Milford Sound, like which is technically they call it the 8th wonder of the world. So he was kind of telling me like this is where this scene from like Lord of the Rings was like in the mountains and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
that's in the Fellowship of the Ring where they're walking up the mountain and then Frodo falls back and then Sean Bean's character picks up the ring and he's like, what?
This is the second podcast that you've mentioned Lord of the Rings that has had nothing to do with Lord of the Rings.
Fine, I'll move.
No, this
past
one's good.
it.
This one's good. New Zealand counts.
Yeah,
right.
This counts.
New Zealand counts.
when you decided to go to New Zealand, was there any kind of things you had to do ahead of time different that you would do, say, going to the States, like you mentioned? Like, you've traveled to the States and all you need is I'm guessing, like your fucking passport and away you go kind of thing.
Yeah. Like,
was there anything different you had to do for that?
Not for New Zealand. No.
No
like
visas or anything?
No. Australia was actually really the only place that I had to apply for a visa before I went there.
Just because of the amount of time you were going, or?
No, that's just
The way they do it?
They don't actually let you fly to Australia until like they check everybody to make sure that they have their visa before you fly to Australia.
Wow.
So it's crazy.
Really strict over there. I thought Aussies were pretty laid back. But
Right? Yeah. I guess not. Yeah.
But I guess, you should probably go back. I want to go back a little bit. I kind of have my notes here in order, and I jumped ahead because I got excited about New Zealand and hobbits and stuff. So I will avoid talking about that. So you two obviously were on that Caribbean cruise. Caribbean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Southern Caribbean.
All right, good enough. We kind of talked to Audrey a little bit about it already and the things that she liked in that. You've already done a cruise before. This wasn't your first cruise.
Yeah, this was my third.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, no
Yeah.
big deal.
No,
Yeah.
NVD. Yeah.
Dust off them shoulders.
Right.
We had a conversation about maybe a week after you came back, and I started writing down just things that you said, and I'm going to read off a couple
dear.
things.
Oh, God.
And then I want you to explain to me what these all mean. Okay.
Oh, boy.
So the first one says, desserts always good. Always.
Always. They are.
Explain yourself, Rachelle.
I love desserts. So it's especially on a cruise, you get always you can get as many desserts as you want.
I asked her, I was like, so tell me about these desserts. And she goes, they're always good.
Always. Like that was her first.
Straight face, like
Just
nothing
so intense.
serious.
Yeah. And I'm not like a serious person, so it's just like I'm just so intense about it. Like she's like, okay, I will eat the dessert.
Well, you said too, like on the cruise, it's like you would never eat like food,
Yeah.
but when it comes to desserts,
Oh, love
game
them.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
The lava cake. Oh, so good. Yeah. I gotta go on a cruise now. Yeah.
Just for
So
the
if you're
lava
on
cake.
the what was the name of the ship you guys were on?
Norwegian Dawn.
If you're on the Norwegian Dawn, get the lava cake.
Yes.
Right?
I think basically any cruise they have the lava cake. So
Yeah,
it's
just get it.
Just get it.
Just
My
get it.
favorite was the banana pudding. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, okay.
I keep forgetting you're an 80-year-old woman. Deep down.
I fit right in.
Yeah. You guys got any porridge?
Where's the banana pudding at?
Oh, you guys are
Oh, I'm
assholes.
sorry. We gave it to the 16 plus crew.
Yeah.
You did what?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one, it just says singing Moana.
Oh, I don't know where that came from actually. Like
I'm
We
assuming
were
every-
taking pictures on the rocks in St. Lucia, and you're like, Audrey, sing this song with me. You know exactly where it's from.
okay, I don't know. I just like I was like, that's gonna be my cruise theme song.
Was this? No, it was before the rum punches, so we really have no excuse.
Yeah, no, none, zero. So I don't know.
I remember when we did our shoe swaps. That was right when I'm on a boat came out. Every morning, crank up the tune.
Yeah.
I'm on a boat. So Moana was your let's get up and get going kind of song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was her rally song.
This Disney princess song for 8-year-olds. Yeah.
8-year-olds and Rochelle.
8-year-olds in Rochelle. Yeah. Okay. The next one is just in quotes, and it says, perhaps.
Oh, I don't know where that came from. Eldona.
Yeah, she started that
Yeah.
one, and then we all just and it sounded so funny.
And I still say that now all the time. Like when people ask me, I'm like, perhaps.
It's almost like a maybe, but not at all.
Yeah, but yeah.
It sounds so much classier than no.
No, yeah.
No, fuck you.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps.
The next one says, Coors Light tastes different in the States.
I find it
Because that's your jam. Let's be honest.
I love Coors Light.
Yeah, the champagne of beers.
Yeah.
You love your Coors Light.
This is not an advertisement. Yeah.
But it's different in the States.
Yeah, for sure it is.
That's weird.
I don't know. Did you have any Coors Light in the States?
I wouldn't know the difference. Honestly.
Okay,
I'm not
I guess,
I'm not a
yeah.
Coors Light connoisseur.
Connoisseur.
Yeah. I feel like,
Excuse me.
but I also feel like Bud Light tastes different too. Like I feel like Bud Light tastes better in the States than it does here, and Coors Light tastes better here. I don't know.
I'll
That's
take your
weird.
word for it.
Yeah, maybe it's me.
The next one was Floppy McFlopperson.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound good though.
No.
Okay, you were pretty drunk when we were talking about this, so who knows? It could have been anything.
Anything.
The next one says, Kiki, do you love me?
Vicky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We called her Kiki, and then we started singing that to her.
She
You,
does.
you would sing it to her?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
that one line.
Okay.
Well, I thought like when her and
Marta.
Marta, yeah, they introduced themselves, and I swore I heard Kiki, and I was like, Kiki. I was so excited about it, and she was just
Best
like,
name ever.
ever. She's like, no, Vicky. Like Marta was like correcting
And
me.
you're just like, oh.
I'm like,
Well, and then Kiki stuck.
it did.
I didn't know why we started calling her that in the first place. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden you call that. Okay, so that was the last one kind of thing. So we'll get back on track here now. I
Cool.
gotta get those notes out of the way. So we've done New Zealand now. You're there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You come back for how long?
Well, then I went to Tahiti and Bora Bora after
Right
that.
from there? Or
Yeah.
did you come back for a bit?
Nope, I went there right after.
And how was Bora Bora? I imagine it was the most beautiful place in the world. Because that's couples retreat, right? Is that the...
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
how was Bora Bora?
Amazing. Like I loved it so much, but it's like I probably would never go back to it.
Oh,
Like, well, it's just so expensive, and there's so many luxury places I feel like in the world to
Okay.
explore. But
was it worth it? Like you mentioned
yeah,
expensive. So
for sure,
it is
for
worth
sure.
it?
It's like when people ask me what my favorite place is, that is
Still Bora Bora?
Yeah, Bora Bora.
So you
and I
said-
went skydiving there, so that was.
Oh, which again, you guys got missed out on.
I know.
Yeah. Like how damaged could the plane actually be? Like
Well, I know. I was like,
you're jumping out of it anyways. Like
I want to know details because I'm going to call Reese to
Yeah.
fix this.
Reese.
We'll fly Reese out.
Yeah.
fix it up.
Yeah.
So after you said Bora Bora and Tahiti.
Tahiti, you have to fly to Tahiti before you go to Bora Bora.
So that's like the main place to go
Yeah.
into, and from there you go to Bora Bora.
Yeah, so normally you, just because of how their flights all line up, you have to spend a night in Tahiti. So
Okay. And were you there by yourself?
no, I was there with my boyfriend at the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Lovely.
How long were you there for?
I did Tahiti for a night and then Bora Bora for 3 nights.
Well, it's not bad. Well, 3 nights, that's it, eh? Well, I
Yeah.
guess you said it's expensive. So
It is expensive.
get in, get out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get
I was
those
like,
pictures. Yep, I was here.
Yeah,
Let's
cool. Bye. Did it for the gram.
Yeah.
See ya.
The gram.
Yeah.
Man, I am not cool enough to be. I say Instagram. Like I use the whole word.
Oh, well,
I'm missing out, aren't I?
yeah, we got to change that.
Got to change that. So you come back from Bora Bora. How long are you back in town for? Because I mean, these things you must have to stagger out. Because
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, your job, I think you mentioned before, is you can bank all this overtime. Like
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like I did go through a time where I was working so much. So I did bank, and then because otherwise, like the taxes were just ridiculous. So
Right.
I banked so much overtime, and then,
So after Bora Bora, we decided then to go to
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Whoop whoop.
Now, being an American thing, is it really Americanized or?
Yeah. Like I felt like, I don't know, it didn't even feel like you left Canada, really. It's just,
Really?
But there's, they have signs everywhere. It's like keep Hawaiian or something.
Oh.
I can't remember exactly what they said, but it's because Chinese and Japanese are coming over, so they're making everything like the writing Japanese and Chinese and all that
Oh,
stuff. Yeah,
interesting.
so
They're trying to keep their culture, basically.
yeah, pretty
Wow,
much.
that's intense.
Yeah, so
How long were you in Hawaii for?
a week. I went there with my parents.
Did you get to go surfing?
I tried to surf. Yeah,
And?
it was hard.
We
I
were
hear
going to
it's
try
like-
to surf on the cruise, and we couldn't find a place to
Yeah.
Really?
surf. Yeah.
That's surprising.
Like the waves were actually really tiny too, and oh my god, I was like going and I like smoked a guy
Oh, no.
in the face, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And then the girl was like, "She's learning," because I was like, "Oh my god," I was so terrified. Like I was like, "Oh dear."
Oh, yeah, of course.
Who this girl?
You grow up learning how to surf, you know how to move, but you're just learning.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of my way.
Like I'm from Canada, and I don't
in
know.
the prairies.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't
exactly.
get much surfing in the prairies.
No
Yeah.
mountains here.
So, like, once you're in Hawaii, you get there, like, were you on, like, kind of guided tours or anything? Or were you kind of just doing, like, I'm just going to wing it? Or
Yeah, we just wung it.
So, like, it's a good word.
That's a
Wung
word,
it?
right?
That's a
Wung
word.
it, yeah.
So, like, from, I think I learned geography once in grade 10. So I remember a little bit. It's a bunch of islands, obviously.
Yeah.
So
I went to Oahu.
that's the big one? Or?
Yeah, that's the main tours. I feel like it's so touristy there.
Oh,
So I like to go back and check out like the other islands because I heard they're not as bad. But
And when you were there, were you doing, like, all inclusive? Or were you doing, like.
no, so just got a hotel. We just got a hotel, and then ideally we had a kitchen. So we were like, we're gonna cook our meals.
Sure
but
you are.
Nah, we didn't. Yeah. So
We all say that, too.
yeah, right.
I'm on a holiday. I'm going to work out every morning.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Yeah. See you in the gym, 6 a.m. Yeah. I'll meet you there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
So Hawaii was awesome.
Oh, it was awesome. I went cage diving with sharks there, so that was
Whoa.
good. That was the only night that I got drunk was the night before I went cage diving with sharks. So, and then a girl on the tour was like getting sick over the boat. So it's like once I went into the cage and got out, then I was like, yeah, it's gonna happen. And like I didn't puke, but I would like had the sweats, and it was just me and my dad who went. And so it was just like we got onto the shore, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I just need a minute." Like I was just like had the sweats. Like,
and it's weird too when you see someone start throwing up. Like you instantly you're like, okay, well apparently I'm sick now too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
So being in a shark cage, that's got to be intense.
Yeah, it was cool. There was like probably about 5 sharks around us.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
All I can think of was that terrible movie with Mandy Moore. Or was it Mandy Moore? Yeah, Mandy Moore. Like 36 feet below, or
I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, her and another girl get stuck down.
The cage like falls like to the bottom.
Oh my
and they're
God.
like stuck there, and the sharks are after them.
Yeah.
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 It's like Sean is like insanely scared of sharks, but thinks they're everywhere. Like if you go to Harry Bailey, they'll be in the deep end, so he refuses to go in there. They were at Blosky's wedding in Mexico, and he went in the ocean. We were just talking about this at hockey. He's like, I never go in the ocean, but today I'm gonna go in the ocean. And he said he's walking back and he looks behind him at the waves, and there's fish in the waves. And he's like, I've never ran so fast in my life.
Oh my God.
He's like, they're not sharks. I don't care what they are. I don't think he'll do the shark cage thing.
Well, it's actually funny because like the first time, I guess before I did go to New Zealand, I went to Mexico with Eldona, and that's who we went on the cruise with.
Yeah.
And we went snorkeling with fish, and it was my first time like in the ocean and stuff. And they like threw a bunch of like fish food at me, and like so the fish were all around me, and I just freaked out. Like I don't know, it's like now if that happened, I'd be like, yeah, what's up? Like
I got this.
Yeah, but if she like still laughs about it to this day, because I was like, oh my God, they're biting me. Like
They're little tiny minnows.
So dramatic about it. Yeah, but
this is the day I die.
you're right. This is happening.
I got like that too when they were feeding the fish with the bread at whose wedding? Allie and Dylan's. Remember, they took it in there and they were feeding the fish and they were swarming. I was like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, these little weird finfish things.
Like it's so weird. It feels weird, like when they're like,
they're scalier
like,
or something.
Don't touch me. Yeah.
This is my space. This is my bubble. Who do you think you are? I'm a human.
Yeah.
The turtles were cool though when we got to swim with the turtles.
Barbados. That was amazing.
Did you touch the turtles? I'm not supposed to.
I did.
Oh, did you?
By accident. I didn't try to. It swam by me and I was like,
yeah, it was actually really nice because like we didn't pay to go on the tour, but like the guides still like they had some sort of food like thing to bribe them up, and like
bribe them up.
come hither up here. Yeah, so it's like they bribed them up there, and it's like right by us actually because they knew, well, clearly we're on fucking floaties. Yeah. I'm like, I can't swim.
You guys didn't rent these from an authorized floaty dealership?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So after Hawaii, you come back, and your next adventure, you said, is this your first cruise now to New Orleans?
Oh, yeah. That was my first cruise. So that was me, my mom, Eldona, and my girlfriend, Shauna. And
so Eldona is basically your second mom.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I love her. Yeah.
And how was that for being your first time on a cruise?
It was good. Actually, that was probably the roughest waters I've experienced. Like they canceled shows like because it was so rough. Like the comedy show, they were like, we're not going to do the comedy show tonight because like you're honestly walking back and like you're hitting against the walls. Like it was aggressive.
See, right there, I don't think I could do a cruise because of that.
I did not experience that.
Yeah, like our cruise was really calm waters, so it was good.
But I was on a boat once in Jamaica.
Totally different.
Jamaica?
But like you feel different on a cruise ship. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like, 'cause it's like a floating resort, right? Like, I don't know. It's like
you keep saying that, but apparently the people are falling over on the boat too. So how?
I don't know. It's like I love cruises, so it's kind of weird. Like,
that's your jam now.
Well, like when I travel with my mom, like it is. But that's
so. Once you got to New Orleans, how many stops did you guys do in that one?
So we went to New Orleans. So I actually went to New Orleans like a year and a half before for Mardi Gras. So it's like I was like, okay, we're going to Bourbon Street. Like we're gonna party this up. So took them there, and like still, it's like you can go to New Orleans. It's my favorite U.S. city I've ever been to. Like,
really? Okay.
Yeah. They like people are on the balconies always throwing beads at people. Like it's amazing. Like I'm just like, this is where I belong. Yeah. So it's like so we did New Orleans there. We were there for 3 days, I think, and then Then we went to Honduras, like Roatan, and that was cool. Like there's still like a lot of unrest in the place, so it's like you're not allowed to wander off without a tour group there. So
okay. That's intense, man. Like you go to these places that it's hard to remember that these are, and it's sad that are third world countries. And,
yeah, exactly.
You know, like, man, that sucks.
Yeah. And so it's like we actually paid for a cruise tour there, and so we went horseback riding like in the water and stuff.
That's cool.
But yeah, it is cool. But like when I seen the horses and they're like tied up on trees on the beaches, and it's like their ribs are showing, I'm just like,
That's
I'm
rough.
going to break this horse.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to even get on it.
But I'm supporting them, so
Right?
I'm giving them money. So this has got to be a good thing.
I know.
That's probably how
it's so hard to like, because I feel like ethically it's probably not okay, but I don't know.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So from Honduras, you go to
Belize.
Oh, I've heard good things about Belize.
Belize is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really wanted to go to the Blue Hole, but we didn't have enough time when we were there. Like,
That was
I don't
just
know.
in the news recently. They had they put a bunch of like those ships, like drones, whatever, water drones down at the bottom, just trying to see like what's down there.
Oh,
and they found like
cool.
all new life and everything, like things they haven't
Neat.
discovered ever. It's crazy.
That is so cool.
So how long have you been in Belize for?
Well, just a day. Like,
So these are always just 1 day's
Yeah.
one out kind of thing. Same
Yeah.
thing on your guys' on your thing.
Yeah.
Just 1 day. Like, see,
One
that
day.
doesn't feel like enough. So that's why I don't think I could do a cruise.
Some spots it was too much, and some spots it was definitely not enough.
Yeah.
But you
Like-
get to know, I guess, like Rachelle said, you kind of get a taste of each
What it's
spot.
like.
and-
Yeah. And where you want to go back to.
Yeah.
Like Carousel. Carousel was not even on my radar. And
Right?
then, yeah.
I know,
Like,
me
I
neither.
could go back there in a heartbeat.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So from Belize, you go to
Mexico.
really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems weird to go to Mexico on a cruise.
Right? Like, here we
Like,
go.
like Cozumel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
so-
like the island, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And how was that?
It was good.
It's very small. Like Cozumel is
Yeah.
not that big. Am I right? Like it's
Yeah.
Right.
And I was already there, like, when I went to Playa del Carmen, like, I went over to Cozumel.
so it's old news. It's old news.
Old news, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This will be a cruise ship day.
Yeah. I drank a lot of tequila there. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do like our tequila.
Also reminiscent of Curacao.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So from Mexico, or sorry, Cozumel, are we making our way back
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. Like, it was just a 3-port stop.
That's it, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So you made it back to New Orleans safe and sound. Did you guys party again once you were there?
That's when that weird thing happened with my face, where my whole face started swelling up. I don't know if you guys remember that, but
yeah.
Oh, yeah. You were sending her pictures.
and
yeah.
the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with me here. Like, I started getting like, I was like, I had the chills. And so we're like on Bourbon Street. We actually got a place on Bourbon Street. So it's
Whoa.
like, I was trying to make the best of it. Like, I was like trying to be out to be a trooper. And I was like, my whole body hurts. Like, every bone in my body
Yeah.
hurt.
I'm
And I
trying to
was-
flash all these guys, but I am so sore.
Like,
even lift my arm.
I can't.
I am
Can
so
someone lift
sore,
my
guys.
shirt for me, please?
Yeah, I'm so sore, guys.
Yeah, Mom, lift my shirt. So it's like I got really sick, and like we still can't figure out. They're like had some weird bug bites from Belize, so they're like maybe it was
It's a weird allergic reaction or
yeah.
something. Or
who knows.
Well, whatever it was, you have an immunity to it
They,
now.
they
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
maybe it was a Zika. I don't know. They were
Whoa.
just like, well, it was like kind of weird. Like, and they're like, "Are you sure you're not pregnant?" I was like, 100% sure I'm not pregnant.
yeah. Let me think.
Yeah. So I don't know. So there was like, yeah, it was kind of.
That's intense.
Yeah, so I missed like a week of work after when I came home too, because like my whole face was like entirely swollen shut. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
You're obviously okay now.
yeah, I'm still here,
Yeah, still here, still kicking, yeah. So how long were you back for after that one? I mean, that must have, took a toll out of you for a while.
Yeah. What was my next trip? I can't remember.
Thailand.
Oh, Thailand. Yeah. So I was actually home for 2 months. Yeah. Took
Wow.
quite
That's a
a
big
toll.
one. Yeah.
Quite a toll out of
So
me.
2 months later, you're in Thailand now.
Yeah.
And how was Thailand?
Thailand was awesome. That was my first, like, it was funny because when I went to Thailand, I told my mom, because it was like basically like one of my first, I was going with one of my girlfriends, and I was like, we're doing a tour. And when I was there, I sent her a postcard saying, FYI, I'm not on a tour. So we just like, we really just went, like, flew by the seat of our pants. And it was like my first trip where nothing was planned, right?
Yeah.
Like, we just kind of wung it.
That's definitely a good place to start.
Yeah.
That's year one. You love your Thailand.
I love Thailand.
Yeah. So it was fun. Like,
So whereabouts did you start in Thailand?
Bangkok. Then went to Phuket.
Mhm.
And then went to
But you can take your time in these places too. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the one nice thing with Thailand. Like, it's cheap as fuck. So I mean, if you decide, okay,
So
we're gonna stay
cheap.
3 days in Bangkok, we're not breaking the bank on
Yeah,
this one.
exactly. It's like the flights over are so expensive, but it's like once you're there, like you can live as luxurious as you want, or
So would you consider yourself to be a
middle of the pack.
Yeah, you're not a hostel, 4 walls. I'm in.
It was okay because Rose like booked us in like 4 nights at Phuket City or whatever, and we got there and there was like cockroaches on there. I was like, we're only staying here one night.
Yeah,
like
hard
I was like, no, this is not happening.
Okay, so you're not so much I'm roughing it girl.
I can, because like when I was in Africa I camped, but it's just like it just depends. It
Yeah.
totally depends. Like
It's so fucking hot there too. I couldn't imagine being uncomfortable and
Right?
that fucking hot too.
and like I don't want to wake up to
Cockroaches is
cockroaches
weird.
in my face.
Yeah.
Like ugh, gross. No.
Gyros.
Yeah.
So how long were you in Thailand for?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So what would you consider to be your favorite spot of Thailand? You can go back there tomorrow, but only to one spot. Where do you go?
Koh Samui. I loved the beaches there.
Oh yeah, is that the one
Yeah.
you like? Koh Samui? Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it there. Raleigh was really cool. I liked Raleigh.
Yeah. I went rock climbing there. It was amazing.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people. I didn't because
You shouldn't. No.
Yeah.
I fall up my stairs on a daily basis
Yeah,
and
that's-
break toenails off on boats that are
Yeah.
not even moving. So
Wouldn't be
no,
good for you.
no rock climbing for me. But
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people rock climb and saw the penis cave and all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, there was a bunch of
Excuse
Gotta
guys.
go back and I changed my
Changed my
answer.
mind.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of guys sitting around in a circle jerk. Just kidding.
Oh, perfect.
No,
Definitely
it's-
going back. I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah. Sign me up.
It's a cave where people throw in carved penises and it's for
It's a
fertility.
fertility thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They have that in Japan, I think, too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a very Asian thing. I don't know, maybe. I know 2 places that do it in Asia, so therefore it's a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to typecast all Asians the same way.
Right.
Chelsea's trying to be real quiet in the background.
Yeah. So once you've left Thailand, I mean, once you're in Thailand, I mean, you kind of mentioned you weren't on a tour. You
We just hopped around. Like we're just like, hey, we're gonna go here for like when we were in Koh Phi Phi. I loved it there. Cause it actually, but like it wasn't very like Thailandy. Like it felt like you were like, I don't know, in the States or something. Like it was very westernized.
Did you go to Koh Phangan? Did you do the film?
Yeah,
party?
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, we did that.
So what time of year did you go there?
May.
Is that a good time to go? Well, I imagine that's gonna be hot there.
Hot. Yeah, it would be
It
hot
was
at that time.
Very hot. I was very, very burnt. I burn very easily.
Oh, yeah?
Doesn't matter what sunscreen I'm wearing, I burn. So,
So if
yeah.
you were to go back to Thailand, would you maybe go a little more like January? Because that even is that too far?
No,
I was
I was
almost in
there.
Harmony there. You should do that again.
I was there in January to March,
Okay.
and it was very hot, starting to get like real hot in March.
Yeah.
Comparatively, but it was still warm. It was still like really warm. Like I never needed a jacket. I never
Yeah.
needed,
Yeah.
anything even in January. So, but it
So
was
you go back the same amount of time, you think, or would you want to be a little colder?
I would just go back
Just go
whenever
back
the
whenever
time.
you can.
Yeah,
my general rule of thumb is just avoid tsunami season.
for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Anywhere.
That seems like a logical thing.
Like
to do,
literally
yes.
anywhere is.
Well, when's tsunami season?
I think in October, July to
November
October,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that.
Thailand trip, $100. Sign me up. Oh, October. Oh,
Perfect.
So it's an indoor trip. Okay.
Yeah.
So from Thailand, you're there for, you said 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You come back, and your next big adventure, which looks like a huge one, is
Africa.
Europe. You said
Oh,
Europe.
Europe. Okay, yeah, right. It was Europe. Sorry, I got my years mixed up.
Europe and Africa are very similar. I can see how that could happen.
Yeah.
So have you always wanted to go to Europe, or is that just kind of like, I'm literally just checking places off now?
Okay, what happened was me and my girlfriend Shauna, we went to Brewhouse actually.
Nice.
And we're like, let's go to Europe. Like, let's just book something. So we Googled flights and we just like looked at a bunch of places in Europe for flights, and Amsterdam was the cheapest. And we're like, okay, we're going to Amsterdam.
So you're at the bar.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck it, let's go to
Fuck it,
Europe.
let's go. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
That is so cool.
We do this all the time, but it never ends up booking.
Yeah, we do.
anything.
Yeah.
We do a lot of dreaming.
Yeah. We always add it to cart, but we never check out.
Right.
That's awesome.
So you flew to Amsterdam. That's gotta be like fucking awesome.
Honestly, like I want to do a bachelor party in Amsterdam. There is so much to do. It's amazing. Like everybody's so friendly there. Everybody's so nice. It's probably because they're all fucking high, but it's like amazing. I love it there.
Super laid back.
Yeah, so laid back.
So how long were you in Amsterdam for?
3 days. Oh no, we were actually only there for 1 day at the beginning.
Okay.
And then we went because Oktoberfest was ending, so we flew.
You gotta go.
Yeah, so we flew to Munich.
Okay.
And then we went to Oktoberfest, and
That's so cool.
oh my god, was that an experience? I remember like we were drinking, like we're on our 4th like huge thing of beer, and they're just like, that must be your 2nd. We're like, no, this is our 4th. Like they're just like, how can you like
Oh, we're from Canada.
You
oh,
weigh 6 pounds.
Yeah.
Where are you putting it?
Yeah. All goes in her boob. She's like a camel.
Yeah.
It all goes in the front.
Yeah.
It's all front loaded.
So it's just like, yeah, they were like, we really impressed the Germans how much beer we can drink. So I was like, there's
Rock
nothing
on.
else. There's nothing else to do in Saskatchewan. So
So what time? Oktoberfest. That's got to be October.
yeah, well, that's actually September normally.
Fun fact.
Yeah, so it normally ends beginning of October. So I think we were there October 3rd, actually.
Oktoberfest doesn't have the same ring to it.
Right? Yeah. I don't actually know why they call it Oktoberfest, but
Feels like a hey Siri kind of moment.
yeah, right.
Oh shit! I did it. No, shut up! I don't want you to.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Okay. So he made it to Oktoberfest in Germany.
Yeah.
How awesome is that? From there, it says you moved on to Austria.
Yeah, went to Austria. We actually rented a car from there. So then we drove to Salzburg, Austria. Weather was really crappy. Like, even when we were actually at Oktoberfest, it was raining the whole time.
Oh, shit.
So, like, that's the kind of, I think, normal for Germany at that time. Like,
Okay.
it's rainy a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Austria, from what that's a bit of an older Europe. Like that's like lots of like
Yeah.
beautiful architecture. In there.
lots.
Do you guys
like,
give a shit about that, or are you just there?
well,
for,
we walked around and looked at it and then
Yeah. Oh, cool.
went and drank some beers. Yeah. Typical Rachelle. Yeah.
Where's the
Weird,
cheapest bar?
Like,
I'm getting deja vu.
right? Where's the bar at?
Yeah. We're
Oh,
here to
look,
see
there's
this
a building. Cool. Bar. Yeah.
picture,
Yeah.
and drinks.
Yeah.
So how long were you in Austria for?
We were there for 2 days.
Was it hard to find accommodations there, or did you guys have this
No.
stuff lined up, or you're just like,
Oh, no.
we'll figure it out?
Wung it every day.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's no
booking.
problem.
No. And this was actually before I even knew about Airbnb. So I
Oh.
just did hotels. Like, we just did,
Yeah.
like, off Expedia. Like, I always use that.
Is
for
that
my-
easy? You can just walk to a hotel and be like, I need a room.
Well, no, like we booked it right before. Like, 'cause we're like, okay, how far are we going to drive tomorrow? So
Okay.
that's kind of like, because next place we went to Slovenia, and then we drove from Slovenia to Verona in Italy, and that was a long freaking drive, and I would never recommend that. Like,
imagine.
it was terrible. And Italians drive like maniacs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's scary. Like if you're in the fast lane, get the fuck out of the
the fuck
fast
out of the
lane.
way, yeah.
Like if you like, I remember we were driving like 135, and people were like on us, like honking their horns. Like I was
Jesus.
like, oh my god, like no.
How did you find like the language barrier being in there? Like, I mean, Europe, obviously, if you were to break it down, we've got Italian, we have German, we have, Austrian. I
Yeah.
imagine they speak something similar. Is English always available, or did you find that difficult?
The only place we found it difficult actually on that whole Europe trip were Italy and Paris, of all places.
Really? That's
Yeah.
surprising. That seems like the most touristy, therefore the most English.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would go, if you were to go back to Europe, I'm going to Europe in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Would you would take a language course, or like, is it not that important?
I honestly, if I was going to learn a language, it's going to be Spanish,
Oh, okay.
because I
Ditto.
feel like Spanish is so like worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, Spain, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, so it wasn't a big deal. At no point were you guys like, I feel like a fish out of water.
No.
I don't know what's going on. and-
Never in Europe.
Yeah.
I felt like you can always, somebody always knew, like whether you're a server, if they didn't know, they would go get somebody who knew English, right? So
And did you always feel safe there? Was it ever a moment of like, they know I'm a tourist and I can feel them?
it was funny because when we were in the subway in Paris, like we were just like looking around, and I looked at her, I was like, I don't feel safe right now. Like, I don't know. It's like Paris, the whole time I really just didn't feel safe. I
Interesting.
don't know if it was just like, yeah, like the time we were there or what, but it's like neither, like, and we took public transportation all the time, and it was just like neither of us felt safe.
I mean, any area, any city is going to have that area. I mean, Saskatoon's got the area you just don't go at certain times, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Were you guys trying to stay away from those, and maybe you didn't know you were there, and that's why? Or
like, I have no idea.
Yeah, because when you went to Paris, you're obviously there to see the stuff. You're seeing the
Eiffel Tower.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that seems like a very touristy place. Therefore, should be safe.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, we were just going.
Feeling, eh?
Yeah, we were just going to the hotel, and like both of us, like, I was like, I don't like.
Always trust your gut too.
Always.
That's definitely one thing.
Yeah.
I've
So we
learned
like both were just like always making sure we had like our passports, like we knew where they were. Like, we just felt like we are gonna get pickpocketed. Like, you hear about all that stuff.
Yeah, that's so weird in Paris. Yeah.
Yeah, like I know about a guy too who like went to Europe and he got pickpocketed all the time. Like, so it's like he's always
More than once.
yeah.
Okay,
Right, like,
buddy.
Learn. Get
After
some
the third
zippas.
time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get a fanny pack.
Yeah, right? Like, so I don't know. So it's like we kind of, I think, felt like maybe we had that more in the back of our head, but like, yeah, I don't know. It was just like,
You get in your head a little bit, maybe a little too, kind of thing.
yeah.
So after Paris, it says here you kind of looped back. So you're on your way back now. So you're going to Belgium.
Yeah, we took a train through Belgium and then back to Amsterdam. And then we did Amsterdam for 3 nights.
How was it to do when you were there for like currency and stuff? Like, did you guys always bring euros, or were you doing everything on cards?
Mostly, I normally mostly do everything on cards. And then when I need to take out money, I just go take it out at an ATM.
So you'd recommend that if anyone's doing that kind of traveling, use a card kind of thing.
Yeah,
Don't
for
worry
sure.
about the currency changes and whatever. Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
just feel
smart.
like it's easier rather than dealing with cash. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you've made it back to Amsterdam. You're there for how many days now before you leave?
3.
3 days in Amsterdam.
Best ever.
Best
Like,
ever?
Red light district.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Let's paint a picture. So how is Amsterdam? Let's go through it. This feels like this is one of your favorite spots. You're lighting up right
Yeah,
now.
right. I don't know. I just feel like Amsterdam is so chill. Like, it's just like everywhere you go, everybody, smoking weed. Like, we just went into some shops and went to the I remember we were at a bar and like, we're like, where's the red light district from here? And he's like, why would 2 beautiful girls like you want to go to the red light district?
Yeah.
We're like, I had to fucking see the hookers in the window.
I want to see some boobs.
Right? Like, come on.
I see these all day. I want to see something else.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it was kind of weird, like going, like walking down the streets there because people like go and knock on the windows and then they have a little talk and then they go in and then they close the curtains around because it's like they're in like these glass boxes, kind of like buildings, but like glass boxes. Like, it's so weird. So it's like they're making a sex deal or something. Like, I don't
Probably.
know. Yeah, like it's just, it's so crazy to experience that. Like, I don't know.
But
like,
I remember reading a thing about, because they was talking about that in Amsterdam, like, you know, why is it only legal there and not anywhere else? And I think this actually may come up in a House Hunters I was watching with Audrey, because they were going to Amsterdam and they're mentioning about that, how like it's one of the safest jobs, if you want to call it a job kind of thing, because it is so not a taboo.
And it's regulated.
It's regulated.
Yeah.
Like it's the way it takes like that dirty connotation out of it, you know?
for sure. Yeah.
And I think when people kind of live that way, everything else you do is way more chill then too. If the most crazy thing of, oh my God, prostitution isn't a big deal, then your everyday life is probably way easier. And that's probably why everybody else is just hanging out, like whatever, like first world problems here, you know,
Right?
like, you know, I want a pop brownie and I want to see some boobs.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
This is a great day.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday, you know,
Yeah.
like
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
We do not want to shotgun beers. We want to see some boobs and some
did you try
rabbits.
doing that in these other places? We talk about shotgunning beers every now and then. Like, I don't think that's a big thing everywhere.
People are like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's actually like I've brought it to a few different continents now. So,
Yeah?
yeah. It's gonna
You're
come
spreading it
viral.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shotgun beers. I don't know if I can't copyright that, can you? It's too bad. You can make some money on that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So Amsterdam, you had to leave, unfortunately. How are the flights on these places? Like I used to live in Germany. I was there for like 4 years.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know, fucking 6 or something. So I don't really remember. Like, how are the flights on these things?
I felt like, flying home.
Either
of.
way, yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like to Europe, it's pretty easy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. You normally have a layover in Toronto and then you're home.
So
But-
it's Toronto directly to.
yeah. So it was like Amsterdam, Toronto, 3-hour layover, I think. And
So
then,
how long is that flight though from Amsterdam to Toronto? It feels that's
8
across a
hours.
goddamn ocean. I mean,
Yeah.
It's even easier than getting to Puerto Rico.
Right. Yeah. Like that's the thing. It's like when we flew to Puerto Rico, it was like 17 hours, I feel like, travel
Oh my
time. And I
God.
was like, oh my God, it's like we're flying to Asia or something.
that's so weird.
Yeah.
It was intense.
But it
a
was
long
just so many hops over to different airports.
So once you got back home, you have a little note here too. You said London. So did you do Amsterdam and then London?
Oh, no. London was when I went to Africa.
So we're on our next continent now.
Next continent.
Okay, so
Next trip.
next trip. So we go to London first. Now, do you have to go to London first to go to Africa, or is that just something you just wanted to do?
It's kind of something I always like look at longer layovers, like for countries I want to see if I actually want to go there. So I'm just like, there was an option for a 14-hour layover in London. So I was like, Kate, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
And then,
Did you stay in the airport, or did you actually?
no, like I left, went to Big Ben and
Oh, yeah.
Buckingham Palace and all those places, like the touristy places to the max, but
From what I remember of London and what I've seen in London, it's fucking busy.
busy. Yeah.
Would you ever go back?
Well, I'm going for Spice Girls, so
Sorry,
Well, I'm
say that again into the microphone.
I'm going to Spice Girls. Yeah. Spice up your life. Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome. When is that?
2 months
No shit.
in May. Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
So I guess you had to go back to London. So wasn't that when you were there? I didn't feel like I don't think I can handle London. Like on a busy day at the mall, I'm fucking freaking out. Like I need my bubble. Stay away from me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think London to me would be just too much.
See, I felt like out of all the places I've been, New York was the most like stressful like that. So
I
it's
refuse
like,
to go to New York. I
Yeah.
refuse.
I
Right?
want to go. I still want to
Ugh.
see it. I want to see New York at Christmas.
yeah, we'll plan a trip for a layover there.
Yeah, you two can go. That's
Yeah,
fine with me.
okay, cool.
So for you, it wasn't too
No,
much. It was fine.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I feel like that stuff doesn't really bug me. It's just like, I don't know. Well, their public transportation was really good.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah. So that's half the battle, I feel like.
Yeah. Getting
So-
from point A to point. I mean,
Point A to
it's
point
not
P.
that big. So I
Yeah.
mean, to get anywhere, it's not that long. I imagine. It's
Yeah.
just full of stuff.
I remember it took me like 20 minutes of asking around and like being like, Kate, I want to see Big Ben. Like, how the hell do I get
this
there?
Fucking foreigner.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's over there.
Yeah. Like, okay. No. Like, yeah. So I felt like that was like half the battle, but like once I got there, it was
It was
good.
easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're on to our next continent. We're going to Africa.
Yeah.
Why the hell do you want to go to Africa?
Why wouldn't you?
I have no interest in going to
It's
Africa.
like next to Bora Bora. It's like my favorite place.
Wow,
Well,
really?
I'm going back.
Again,
Yeah.
for Spice Girls. They're going to Africa too. or- You're following some Spice Girls around.
Right. No, I'm going back to volunteer for my birthday
Wow.
in Africa.
That's
Actually,
amazing. Good for you.
Zimbabwe. But yeah.
We'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah,
but now,
yeah, like I'm all over the place.
yeah. So now that we're in Africa, what was your reasoning? What was the thing I need to go to Africa because
I need to see animals.
I want to see the animals?
Yeah.
I'm there for the animals.
Yeah. So I started in Johannesburg. I actually did a G Adventures tour. So we camped through like 7 different locations.
Like tents?
Yeah.
Good
like
Lord.
put up your tents. Yeah. Take down your tents. Like, and we did safaris. Like normally they start at 5 in the morning because they want to do it before sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
And because lots of the animals are like nocturnal and stuff. So you have to take down your tents. And like, I remember some days like it was so freaking cold. And like, you're in Africa. You don't
Yeah.
really actually think so. It's like, our tour guides had to come and try to like roll up our tents for us. Cause like, I was like, I can't feel my fingers. Like
Holy
they're
crap.
so cold.
I would never think of Africa as cold. Like
Yeah.
even at night, I'd be like, oh, t-shirt
Well,
weather.
desert, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. So it does get pretty chilly.
So you flew directly to South Africa, so
Yeah. Johannesburg,
and then from Johannesburg we're going to.
Botswana.
And how was Botswana?
Amazing. It's one of the safest countries actually in Africa. So if anybody wants to start on a safari, I would recommend there.
So is that basically what you do in all these countries? It's safaris, right? That's kind of their jam,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So what's the one in Botswana? Is it like if you want to see animal A, you go to Botswana. If you want to see animal B, you go to Dirka or whatever. I don't think it's all weird.
Actually, in Botswana, it's like we
Oh,
went to this rhino place. It's the only place because they shave their rhinos like
the horns.
they shave them. It's the only place where they don't because they have underground security. Like they have people underground to prevent poachers from coming in.
I still can't believe that's still a thing.
On average, one rhino is poached in South Africa a day. Like we
why?
can see it extinct in our lifetime.
Jeez.
Like, what possible reason could people want to kill a rhino for?
For their horns. That's it.
That's it.
Because
For a
in
hunk of
China,
wood or ivory or whatever.
for what they can sell them for is like a year's salary to them.
Jesus.
So it's like people go and
So you got to see some rhinos, obviously?
yeah, got to see some rhinos. I saw some baby rhinos. I saw a rhino pooping. Like it was.
I like how that was part of your big three. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was good. It's funny because he like lifted his leg too. Like he was like really torquing it out. I have a video. I can show you guys later.
Okay, yeah. We'll add that to our to-do list here.
Yeah.
So how long were you in Botswana for?
There for 8 nights.
And do these things, when you go there, I kind of bring this up every now and then too, is it scheduled? Like, I'm staying here
This is like, and I was like, Africa, I don't really want to mess around with
That's
though
fair.
too.
That's
Because
fair.
I was like, I don't know, you have to be inside at night. But it's like, we had the best group of people ever. Like, I've actually been so lucky every time I booked a tour that like just had good humans. Like,
I think going into it with the right mentality is a smart move
For
too.
sure.
Like, you know, you get what you give. So if you're in there with a good attitude, people will give you a good attitude back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we said that too. Like traveling with the wrong people
It's the worst.
is the worst.
Yeah.
So from Botswana, you go to Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
What's in Zimbabwe?
Victoria Falls.
Like a...
It's like a waterfall.
Yeah, the big tall one, right?
Yeah,
Well, I'm
big
thinking
water-
Angel Falls, I think.
Yeah. No, Victoria Falls is like one of the bigger
Is it one of the big ones?
Yeah, like I think it's like one of the widest waterfalls
Okay.
or something, but
And you got to go see it, obviously.
yeah.
Did you go in it?
No.
Oh.
The water was too high. They're like they have a devil's pool, like or something. I don't know if you guys probably seen it on social media. It's like where you can go hang off the edge and all that stuff.
Oh, that thing? That picture thing? Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's where actually I'm going to go volunteer. So I'm going to go do
very
that in
cool.
October.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
It's pretty exciting.
that's what I wanted to
So
do.
how long were you there for?
3 days.
And then did you do more safaris there too?
No, there was some girls bungee jumping there and
Whoa. Did
Yeah.
you do it?
No.
Oh, okay. That's you draw the line. I'll jump out of a plane.
No, I went bungee jumping in New Zealand and I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't ever need to
You did
do
it once,
again.
you good?
Yeah. And 10 years ago, one of the girls' cords, like it broke. Like she lived, but it broke and she fell into the water. Like,
Jesus.
Wow.
yeah. So
I went to West Edmonton Mall and bungee jumped. That's
Right.
about as exciting as I've got. It's the same thing, right?
Right?
West Edmonton Mall?
Basically. Yeah,
okay,
totally.
good. So Zimbabwe, a couple of days. You chickened out on the bungee jumping.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Pussy.
pussy. Next place, it says Zambia.
Yeah. So it's like you actually, because in Victoria Falls, there's a bridge that links Zimbabwe to Zambia. So just walked across the bridge, got a
New
taxi.
country.
Yeah. Yeah. New country, way less fucking chaos at the border. Like it was so easy because I got like a dual, like a Zimbabwe Zambia visa because you have to get visas, pay for visas at all these places.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a good point to mention then too. So if you are going to Africa, it's not just I can just go to Africa. You need...
Yeah, but you can pay, like you pay at the border.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's like, well, for both of them, it was $75, I think. For
It's not crazy then.
Yeah, nothing too crazy.
Okay.
U.S. of course, everywhere
course.
is U.S. Yeah.
So Africa is one of your ones.
Yeah.
That's really surprising.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that in a million
So
years.
then, I had so much Expedia points from like booking hotels
Just bank of the points.
right before Airbnb. So I stayed at this one resort where they had zebras and giraffes on the resort.
Yeah, I'll take one of those too, Audrey.
Yeah.
Shots.
And, shots. And then, so it's like you're walking, like I just went for a morning walk and all of a sudden I was like face to face with a giraffe. Like it
Whoa.
was so crazy. Like,
So cool.
yeah, like that's why I wanted to go and say, I was like, I don't care. Like I'm going to use all my points
Yep.
to go stay at this place. And it was like, I remember like the afternoon, like and the evening, I didn't see anything. And I was like, okay, like this sucks. So I just went for like a morning walk and all of a sudden I was like,
That's a
oh
fucking
my
giraffe.
God. Yeah.
Is it
Like,
as big as you think it would be?
Yes. And it was like, I actually talked to the groundskeeper because then I went back to my room and I was like, okay, got to throw some makeup on because I took a selfie and I was like, I have no makeup on. Like, oh my God.
This giraffe was just
Right? Yeah.
laughing at me.
Yeah. So I'm like, let's put some makeup on and like look presentable for Instagram. Come on.
That's right. For the gram. Where's that filter? Where's that filter?
Yeah. So then I went back out there and there was nothing. And then I talked to the groundskeeper and I was like, well, like where are the giraffes at? He's like, you want to see giraffes? Come with me. He like took me into like the bush and all
There's two ways this story could go.
The bush of Africa. I don't know. And all of a sudden,
I just had it. He took you in the bush, or he took you to the bush.
oh my god, yeah.
That's why she loves Africa.
Right? Yeah,
Sorry,
Mom. Love it. That's why I want to go
Love
back.
it.
Yeah, love it. And then,
Oh my goodness.
and all of a sudden, there was 3 giraffes there, and it's like I remember like posting a video like on Facebook. People are like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Like a giraffe's like running right in front of me. It's like
That's insane.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, and he's like, "Oh, you want to see zebras? They're right over there." And he's like,
No big deal.
Yeah, like what?
It's just like deer to us.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like over there, and like I got right up, like I could touch this one zebra. I didn't want to because they're like still wild animals, but I like took a selfie with it. Like I was like, this
That's
is
insane.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I think that's probably why I like Africa so much.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was just like, and I really didn't even like giraffes much until I went to Africa. and
You
I was
weren't
like,
even my top 5 animals. Let's be honest.
now I'm like, I love giraffes. Yeah,
Team giraffe.
yeah. But,
So now let's go back now to this thing. So you've decided for your birthday, which is going to be your 29th birthday,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
29. Yeah.
22. Come on. Are you kidding?
That you're going to go volunteer in Africa
Yeah.
and do what?
Wildlife conservation. So you're
Wow.
doing things to help animals from not being extinct, and you're doing things around, you actually like live on a game reserve. So you basically do a safari every day, and like you observe animals, like you watch lions and like what do they prey on, and like you like do all these things for like the reserve.
Yeah.
Like it just seems
That's
like
insane.
it seems too good to be true. Like
But it seems, I don't mean insane in a bad way. Like insane
Yeah.
in like, good for you for doing this.
Yeah.
You are a better person than me in this one situation. Let's be clear.
This one time.
This one time.
Yeah.
Let's go to your head.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
exciting.
how long are you going for?
Well, I'm going to, I have so much vacation time. So I'm actually going to take a month off, and I'm going to go to Africa, and I'm going to do Kilimanjaro before, and then I'm going to go
Oh.
volunteer. And then you go to like schools too, and like hang
Oh,
out with the
yeah.
kids.
That's
And
awesome.
I'm like, oh,
That'd be cool.
it's going to be
That'd
amazing.
be really cool.
I feel like it's going to be,
Make sure you take some stuff with you, like a little.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah, I
little-
remember Pete and Marlene used to go to, I think it was Cuba lots. And they mentioned that too, like bring little things for the kids and like just the things you wouldn't think of, like freaking tampons and stuff like that.
Right?
Are impossible to get. Like bring
Exactly.
that kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Well, good on you. We should do a shot for Rachelle
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
being better human than we all are.
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers, Chelsea.
Just this one thing, let's be clear. Brought to you by Caminera Tequila.
Whoop whoop.
Am I saying that right?
No.
Fuck you, Peanut Gallery.
Yeah.
Camarena.
Camarena. Definitely our favorite tequila, though.
So good.
They would be very ashamed. Don't tell them what podcast
Sorry,
are. so
sorry,
they don't
Ken
know
and
what-
Brenda.
Sorry, Ken and Brenda. Okay, so wow. So we've done an amazing trip of Africa, which now has stolen your hearts. And
Yep.
I mean, how do you top that?
Well, I went to Australia with my mom.
And that was after this one?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then how was Australia? Whereabouts in Australia? I mean, now we're talking a massive country.
Yeah,
And-
for sure. We just went to Sydney, and then after Sydney, we did a cruise, because always with my mom I do cruises,
course.
because yeah, it's
Gots to
the
do
best.
the cruises.
Gots to do the cruises, and
Gots to
Don't
do the
mess up her
cruises.
papers.
oh my god,
I learned that the hard
She
way.
is so-
What does that mean? What papers?
oh my god, Audrey, you got to clarify on that.
Okay, so her mom keeps, they give you a schedule every day on the cruise ship saying, here's what you're going to do, here's where you're going, what time you have to get off, activities, and then like the ship schedule for
Yeah.
that day. And I was in their room one day looking through them, and I like dropped 2 on the floor. I was like, oh, whoops. And I just like put them on top, and apparently they were out of order.
Oh, fuck.
It was like I don't know if she was just mad at us for being drunk.
Oh,
the day
guaranteed.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But she's like, well, I might as well just throw them out now. And I was like, I'm gonna leave.
like it was so awkward. I was like,
If she could have flipped the table, she would have flipped the table.
I was like, I didn't think she was serious. I was like, she's serious? I was like, oh my god.
so then we just used it as a joke the rest of the time. We're like, don't mess with like Lynn's papers.
Yeah.
Like Jesus.
That's awesome.
I don't know. Is it?
I was disowned for a few
No, it
hours.
was
Oh, yeah.
so funny Because even like that, our first sea day that we were at we were suntanning and Aldana came and she was like, your mom has read that freaking flyer like 3 times. So I'm like, okay, we're going to quiz her later. Like, we're going to ask her, what's at 3:45? Like,
and that became a thing. Like, did Lynn do her homework today?
Yeah. Yeah.
And did she? She was probably on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
So where'd you guys go for a cruise in Africa? Nope. Australia.
No, Australia. Other side of the world, right?
Just cruised across Africa.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money.
Yeah. We went to New Caledonia was our first stop.
That sounds badass.
Am I too close to the mic?
No, you're good. No, don't worry about it.
Okay. And then we went to Vanuatu, and then 2 stops there. We actually went to this island where nobody lives, so it was really cool.
What's the point of doing that?
Well, it was beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to say, oh, it's got these endangered
No.
fucking turtles or something.
No, it's beautiful. People actually go in every day when cruise ships are going in to like sell stuff everywhere, right? Like rip everybody off because they're rich, right? Yeah. So it's and then we went to Fiji. I was actually supposed to skydive in Fiji.
Oh, wow.
In Latuka.
Did not?
It did not happen because it was raining.
You can't skydive in the rain?
You're right. Horseshit. Can't skydive with a broken plane. Can't skydive in the rain. Right?
What's the point of even going?
Like, I'm over. I'm never booking a skydiving trip.
This is bullshit. Just pay. Here's an extra 20. Just get the fucking plane up in the air. I'll do the rest.
I don't give a fuck.
Buy a roll of duct tape.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
So how long were you guys on that cruise?
That was a 13-day cruise.
That's a long one.
It was. Like, we had a lot of sea days, though. Like, 2 sea days at the start.
So how far away are you from Australia? Or when you say at sea days, can you see land, or are you
No.
I don't think I can handle that.
No, and
Not a big deal.
I
thought
it's
the
not.
same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
You don't even notice. Like,
You don't.
you're at the pool and you're just like hanging out and like talking to
distracted.
people. You do.
Yeah.
You're distracted. Like, it's not like you're standing at the edge the whole time being like, I can't see the land.
As you're on the edge of the boat, you're like,
gonna
Wilson!
die. Yeah.
And they have so many planned activities. Like the cruise director is so good at like making sure that every moment has something going on.
Yeah.
Like,
So you
there's
don't even
comedians at night. There's dance shows. Like, everything.
That's a good thing to bring up. Did it ever feel like it was too much? Did it ever feel like, okay, for the love of God, just like, I just want nothing to happen tonight?
No.
Or was it...
No, because you can just go to your room then.
Yeah, it's never what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's never to the thing of like, there's so much going on that you can't sleep. You know, is what I'm trying to say is like, you know, the idea of like when you go to some resorts and they have like their nightlife.
Oh,
it's so much. Like, even in your room, you can say
No, I mean, our room I don't think was near any of that. Like, maybe if you were near that one nightclub, but even then, like, I don't think they went that late.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, that's good. I think that would be my one concern too. Is like, okay, I just want to be away from things. And if I can still hear it, you can't turn it off in your brain.
Well,
right?
and I brought the handy dandy white noise machine.
Yeah, that was actually amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you buy one for yourself yet?
Not yet, but
Not
I'm
yet.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
They're cheap. They're like $50 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Buy now.
Right?
Buy now.
Bye.
So 13 days at sea.
Yeah.
And then
Not at sea, but like
Sorry,
other
13 days at the
places.
cruise.
Other places
Yeah,
too,
this
right?
is the
Like,
actual Castaway story.
Yeah.
So you did your cruise for 13 days, and then did you go back to Australia, or did you fly?
We went back, and then we did 5 nights in Sydney.
Oh, Sydney.
Yeah.
Is it amazing?
Yeah, it was actually really cool.
Would you consider it to be like one of your like top 5, or it's just okay?
Yeah, I feel like, maybe it's 5 on the top 5.
Yeah, because I have that as a note too. Because I mean, of all these places you go to, I mean, does it ever get to a point of like, oh, it's better than this one? It's never, or does it ever get to the thing of like, it's never as good? You know?
I feel like I always I like cultures differently and everything. What I liked about Australia is we would walk into a bar or a restaurant or anything, and it's like, it was packed, right? Saskatoon, it'd be like, Kate, we'll see you later. We'll put you on a wait list. People would be like, oh, well, we have 2 spare chairs. Like, come sit with us.
It's such a weird thing. Like you mentioned that too. Like it's I shouldn't say it's weird.
A different mindset.
Not,
it's just
shouldn't be
people
weird.
are friendlier everywhere else. Like, people always say, oh, Canadians, they're so friendly, but
no, we are not. Like,
Not even a
I was
little
like,
bit.
that would never happen here ever. So it's like, people are just like, come sit. Like, that happened 3 times on our thing. Like we would walk into like a full place, and because people would be like, "Oh, you have to go there. It's like amazing." And then it's like we go in there, and it's like there's no spare tables, and it's like people are like, "Come sit with us," and it's like, well, what a cool way to talk to people, right? Like,
And that's how we met Marta.
and they were all Australians too, actually, like who.
So we're not the nice ones. The Australians are the nice ones.
For sure.
Oh yeah,
100%.
and they're way more outgoing.
Yeah, like they're so nice. Like I don't know,
So yeah, Sydney was awesome.
awesome.
So how long were you guys in Sydney for?
4 nights.
Yeah. And then do you guys, is there anything to, like, obviously it's the capital, it's the whatever.
Well,
like,
it's like you can do the Harbor Bridge, but
yeah, the opera house or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The pointy thing.
you can like walk, like try, like
That's the
and
technical term for it, by the way. It's the pointy thing.
and I wanted to like do the Harbor Bridge, but my mom didn't want me to. So
Oh, when you like walk over it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, cool. You're gonna let me skydive in Fiji, but not let
Walking
me
on
walk
a bridge,
over.
that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, like no, I don't think so.
Stairs? Did you get the stairs?
Yeah.
Nope.
So
Falling out of a plane? Yeah, right.
yeah. So I didn't do that, but I don't know. We went to like the Blue Mountains there. It's like
cool.
kind of cool. Like the
Eucalyptus.
Yeah,
There it
we
is.
go. There's the word. It makes all the mountains look blue. So it's like you take a picture and it's like all the mountains are
That's
blue.
cool.
Like it's really cool. Like, and we did a day tour there, and we had the best guide ever. So
A lot of these things are all tour guide stuff. It's not just you and your mom walking around Sydney.
yeah, like we're not just like, okay, cool, we're just gonna go to
Where's
the...
Main Street?
Yeah, you know, one day actually, because we were actually trying to find where we had to go to meet this tour, and I was just standing there like looking at my phone being like, oh my god, and this one guy was like, you look lost, like where are you
See?
trying to go?
Australians are the nice people.
Yeah,
They're the assholes.
nicest humans
If
ever.
you saw a person
That
on
would
the street
never-
in Saskatoon looking at their phone, you'd be like, nope.
Yeah, and maybe I had like what the fuck kind of look on my face, but like seriously, like I still hold
Deer
to
in
that. Like
headlights, yeah.
yeah, it's like Australians, nice humans. Like I was like, no wonder people want to live there.
Yeah.
Like
So we got to go to Australia. apparently.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I had this like what I can only attribute to like an asthma attack, panic attack thing when I was in Thailand. And this girl and her boyfriend, she was from New Zealand, he was from Australia. They
Yeah.
both lived in Australia. She gave me her inhaler. She's like, oh, here, you can just have this. Like, it's for my asthma. You need it more than I do. And
That's
she
awesome.
gave it to me.
Yeah.
that's amazing.
She's like, I have another one. Like, I'll be fine. And it's like, who does that? Like, who's just
Yeah.
like, oh, here, like, it's okay.
Here's this life-saving drug. Have at it.
And this
Yeah.
was like before Facebook was really like a big thing.
yeah.
So I don't even remember her name. Like I don't
That's
remember
too bad.
anything. Like it was just, that was the night I was roofied, but yeah.
Yeah. That's a whole different
Which
podcast.
explains,
nother story.
the
Yeah.
panic attack / breathing thing. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a whole different story.
That's
But yeah,
a whole
no, they really are. They're the nicest.
Yeah, for sure.
So after Australia, where I want to bring it up, but I don't want to jump too far ahead.
Yeah.
Where does Everest jump in here?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, right. Yeah. So
Because that's what I really want to talk about.
yeah.
So how far along are we? What else do we have after Australia?
Nothing. Actually.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
We're there?
Yeah, we're there.
We're at Everest.
We are at Everest. Australia Everest, like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So you decide I'm going to climb, obviously not the whole
base
damn
camp.
thing,
Yeah.
but still.
People are so extreme about it though. I'm just like, how many people do it? It's like ridiculous how many people do it now though.
So,
So-
it's a common thing.
Yeah. I feel like it is. I feel like, well, I've been doing like lots of research because I want to do Kilimanjaro. I'm like, oh, what's harder? That's what I'm like. I want them to be like base camp's harder. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm in the clear.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
yeah. So where did Everest jump into your brain of like, I need to go to Everest? I've been to beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
Now I need to go climb a fucking mountain.
Okay, so it's always like intrigued me, but one of like my friends, he went and did it with his boyfriend, and I was like following the whole thing, and I was like, Kate, I gotta do this. Like I was like, I don't care what it takes. Like I'm gonna go.
So how far in advance did you decide, okay, I'm going to Everest November 1st?
Yeah,
Before that, you obviously, you know,
it's been in my head, but I booked it 2 weeks before.
okay.
Like that's
So you had 2
I
weeks
didn't
of
realize
training.
that.
yeah.
So imagine
it's
you
like,
can't just,
it was like in my head, I was telling people I was going to do it, but I didn't actually physically book it.
I got you.
Yeah.
it's something where you're like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
I was
just do
like,
it.
nope, it's going down. So,
So Everest is in Nepal.
yep.
And Nepal is in Pakistan?
Nepal is its own country.
Is it its own country?
Yeah.
See, I'm learning stuff every day.
Yeah.
Here. This is good.
So Kathmandu is like where you fly into.
Okay, so that's
Kathmandu.
so Nepal's
Yeah.
the country, Kathmandu is the city.
Most overwhelming airport I've ever been to.
Is that right?
Yeah, like because I had for my tour, I had people picking me up at the airport, and I just remember like getting out there, and I was like, okay, I just traveled 28 hours, and I was like, this is so like I almost wanted to cry. Like I was like, I just want to go back in and go on my own. Like I was so overwhelmed. Like everybody was like yelling and like holding signs, and I was like, okay, like take a few minutes.
Yeah,
like I
need
was
some
like,
me time here.
yeah, just like take a couple of breaths, and I was like, so I just like walked by everybody, and there's like active adventures, like yeah, and Rachelle.
So you booked it through like a company.
A company, yeah.
Okay.
So they were picking me up, and I was like, Kate, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's me. And then what happens though there in actually Kathmandu is people steal people's signs to like get people to
What?
come. Yeah, it's crazy. So
my God.
we're walking back, and this guy's like, let me carry your bag. I was like, no, I'm good. Like I will carry my
Yeah.
own shit. Like
Smart.
we got to work on our trust here.
Yep.
So yeah.
So here's another good fun fact for everybody. Keep your gear where you can
Yeah,
see
like
it.
like I don't trust
I
anybody.
am always like that.
yeah,
Even when the
ever.
guy was trying to put our bags in at the hostel there when we were leaving
Right?
San Juan, and you're like, no, he's fine, he can do it. And I'm like,
No.
I like watched him. I'm like,
right? Like I'm gonna watch you. Like don't touch my shit. But yeah. So he was like, walked us to a vehicle, and then all of a sudden, like, well, this other guy came up to me. He's like, Rachelle, like, and I was like, yeah, that's me. He's like, Kate, come with me. And then he's like, put me in a car, and all of a sudden he's like, this one guy gets in a vehicle, and he was like asking me for money. And I was like,
What?
well, what the fuck? Like, it was so weird. So I gave him like $5 US because it was like the smallest bill I had. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I had no idea. And when he shut the door, the guy was like, the guide was that met me.
So the
like,
first person you met wasn't the person you were supposed to meet.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And so it's like, I felt like it was like a way for them to make
Oh my
money or
God.
something. So it's like, he's like, you didn't have to tip him. Like, you didn't have to. And I was like, oh, okay, you could have told me that when he was like
Yeah.
fucking in the vehicle.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why are you like,
So-
it's like when they were taking our bags at the cruise ship, and they're like, you want to leave a tip?
yeah.
And I was like, no.
Not anymore.
And I like walked away, and
No
I'm like,
thanks.
does that mean my bags aren't going to make it onto this freaking
Right.
cruise ship? Like, what the
no,
fuck's
that's just
happening?
my bag that doesn't make it to the door on
Of
time
course, right? Yeah.
with the vodka.
We
Yeah.
did not talk about that, I don't think.
No, we didn't. Okay.
How do we not?
Rewind. So we're back to the cruise
Yeah.
ship now
With Audrey.
with Audrey.
Yeah.
Back to the
Sorry,
Audrey-
this is a podcast with Rachelle.
Yeah,
We're all
coming-
over
we're
the
coming back
place.
around. This is good. This is good.
Always all
Always.
over the place.
So
Yeah.
tell me this vodka story. Because if everybody knows
Okay.
Rachelle, I think her nickname was
It used to be vodka.
used to be vodka.
Now it should be Coors Light.
Coors Light.
Right?
And white
Cruise Light and
Does
white
the same
wine,
ring,
right?
yeah.
Like, what
Okay,
a
so
pussy. Yeah.
Paint me a picture. What happened here?
Okay, so, well, Audrey already told about how we went and got the vodka. So we put vodka in water bottles, and then we're like, put them in my suitcase. So we dropped the suitcases off, and everybody gets their well, you're supposed to get your suitcase. What time did you get your suitcase? It was so early.
Yeah, I got mine pretty early.
Yeah.
It was like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
No,
This is
no.
day
It was
one you're
like
talking,
it wasn't
or-
even 4
Day
o'clock.
one.
It was like
This is day one.
2.
You drop your suitcases off when you go on a cruise, and
Okay.
everybody brings their suitcase like up to your room.
Gotcha.
And so Audrey got hers, and I was like, Kate, cool, whatever. Like, it's been like me and my mom have been in cruises where like neither of us had got our suitcases at the same time. It's like just depends on how it is.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Chelsea.
Beer wench.
and then
Rude.
yeah,
Not rude. I said thanks.
no, it's good.
Yeah, okay.
So I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
You've been on cruises where your mom
Oh
and you,
yeah, right. So, with my suitcase not showing up with Audrey's, I was like, "Okay, well,
Red flag.
whatever."
It was just a little
No,
weird.
well, it was weird, but normal.
Okay,
right? Like,
okay.
so I was like, "Okay,
Not worried yet.
not yet." But then I remember we went for lunch. Still wasn't there, and I was like, "All right." And then Audrey's like, "Well, I'm gonna unpack my suitcase because mine's here." And I was like, okay, like where the fuck is my suitcase? Like, and I was like, okay, like I'm the only one smuggling in alcohol out of all 4 of us, right? Like the only one with all the alcohol in the suitcase. I'm like, oh, okay, like I started like getting a little anxious about it, and then
I was too. I was trying to not be because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's fine. I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
that,
okay.
that the tag fell off or something, or never made it on.
Right. We went to supper, came back, and then we got to the room, and I remember it still wasn't there.
It was like 8:30
my
by that
God.
point.
No, wasn't quite, because my mom called guest services,
Right.
being like, my daughter's suitcase still isn't here, and they're just like, 8:30, you can call us.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and then I remember it was like 8:32, and we're like, okay,
Let's go down.
yeah,
Where's my shit?
Yeah, so we went down there. I went up and I was like, my suitcase didn't arrive. Didn't say anything. He was like, come with me, and I was like, I'm getting kicked off the ship. Like, I was so fucking scared. I looked at my mom. I was like, Mom, he wants me to go with him. Like, I was so, what am I doing? Like, I was so scared. I don't know why. Like, I really shouldn't give a fuck, but I was like, yeah. And then brought me into a room, and everybody came into the room with me, just being like, this is my posse. You fuck with me, you fuck with
It's
them.
like, you got to come into this back room. We're like, okay. And you're like, can they come? And you're like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, what suitcase is yours? I was like, well, the back one. He's like, do you want to open it now? And I was like, no, I'm good. Like,
That's a hard no.
yeah, hard no.
And
So,
thank God you didn't.
right? And so brought it up to the room. We opened it. One of the bottles like completely leaked out on all my clothes. It stunk like
How
vodka.
the hell did it not smell down there though? Like you telling me this
Yeah.
little zipper is like,
She has a hard suitcase.
oh, okay.
It was a hard suitcase.
And that I think
that
saved
your
us.
freaking
Yeah.
life.
for sure.
So you
And maybe that's why they asked me to open it. Maybe they did open it. I have no idea. They're just like,
maybe they can't say anything until you open it
Right.
or whatever. So you
Like-
open up your suitcase and an entire bottle of vodka
yeah.
has spilled out. We talking
Yeah.
2.6? We talking a 40? What we talking here?
2.6. That was a 2.6 because the
2.6.
other one was so good.
Yeah. It was
So-
our $6 or $8 for a 2.6.
Oh my God,
$6.
that's
Yeah, $6.
US. US.
it.
So,
Okay, so 25 Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So now all your clothes are soaked in vodka.
Yeah.
So now what?
So we went through them all, and we had an assembly line. So Audrey, what were you doing?
I was washing.
You were washing.
Yeah. I had the laundry detergent.
My mom was
Rinsing.
rinsing. I was like, was I even there?
I
I don't know.
You're on your phone.
Aldana was hanging them all up, and Rachelle was buying internet.
Yeah, it was so funny because it's like I organized all my clothes, like which ones are soaked, and then all of a sudden it's like they're like, Rachelle, what are you doing? I'm like, just buying some internet over here. They're just like,
You guys can use it.
yeah, I want to document this. They're just like, oh my God, Rochelle, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Can't believe
Yeah.
you guys lost an entire bottle of
But
vodka.
it was mostly in her sweats and her bunny hug.
For sure.
Hoodie.
We're in Saskatchewan. So bunny hug.
Fun.
Yeah,
Funny.
funny.
And yeah, so that took the brunt of it.
Yeah,
There
it
was only
did.
a couple other things that got wet, and
That's
nothing.
I think it was
insane.
fine. But
But like, I mean, the thoughts obviously going through your brain. You see, like in movies and stuff too, where the guy's like, "I'm getting caught. This is it. This is the day I get."
Well, I
you
was
know."
like, yeah, I've normally don't give a fuck about anything. So it's like, so when I was like, oh my God, like they're all going to go on a cruise without me and I'm
Yeah.
just going to get fucking shipped off to Puerto Rico.
"You're
Like,
staying here. We're putting you to work." Wow.
which probably the worst thing that they would do is just pour it out.
Yeah, probably.
right? Exactly. Like,
Like, no, you
yeah.
can't
Like
do
ready-
that. And if you were like, oh, I didn't know.
oh, so the tag actually did fall off from,
yeah, her tag fell off her bag.
so that's why
Oh,
they
okay.
did
Even after I laminated them.
Aw,
Yeah, she
you put so
laminated
much work into
them. I don't know. Must have sucked. I was so hungover when I put that on.
Okay, let's get back to it. So, Everest. You're at
Oh,
Everest.
right.
You're in, the hell's the name? Kathmandu?
Kathmandu. Yeah.
So you've met a sketchy guy who's trying to steal you. Now
Oh.
you've met the real guy now.
Yeah.
So does he take you to a third guy who tries to
Oh.
sell you, or how
Do
does it
I
work?
no? Do I have a story for this?
Okay.
It's like I went to, well, I booked at. I'm gonna get the names mixed up. I booked a family home. I think they took me to friend's home. So I went to friend's home and I
Is that like a name of a company or something? Or?
the hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I walked through this alleyway, like it was so sketchy. Oh my God. It's like people sleeping on the streets. I'm like, okay, cool. Like this is where I'm staying. Yeah, right here. They like one of those like gates that they lift up, and I was
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. Like this is I was so overwhelmed, and I probably was like no sleep like at all.
Yeah.
And then get up to the hotel and it's like, reservation for like Rachelle Berke, and they're just like, yeah, cool, like booked me in, and like
Their language sounds beautiful.
yeah,
That means bellboy, by the way.
right. And then they brought me up to like the room, like they carried my shit up there. I'm just like, Kate, like this is where I'm staying. Fucking turned out bed bugs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm just like,
And how'd you find this part out?
bites.
Woke up and all of a sudden
Yeah,
you're like,
I had bites, and I remember I sent him to you, and then I sent him to Chelsea. yeah. And then I was just like, oh my God. So then it's like I seen some bugs, and I was like, oh my God, this is like ridiculous. So they moved me rooms, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Like I'm going on the trek right away.
Yeah.
So, so they brought me up to my room, and then
Your new room.
yeah,
fucking
new room.
pull it together, Rachelle. Jesus Christ.
Jesus. And then yeah, whatever. So we're I can't pull this
Okay, so
together.
you got bed bugs in the first room.
Does the second room have bed
Did
bugs?
the bed bugs?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, the second room was great. That's the
Whatever. Anyways, we get into like a bunch of shit that happened, but no. So we'll go
Well,
to
don't skip over that. What's the bunch of shit that happened?
well, no, it's like personal shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
right. Like
Gotcha.
you guys know.
So we're gonna skip over that.
So, yeah, we're gonna skip over that.
Oh, yeah. So,
Hard skip. Yeah. So then oh my God, we were actually supposed to fly out of Kathmandu for like going to base camp, but they had bad weather, so they were so delayed. So they were just like, we're gonna actually take you to this different airport.
Right.
It is 4 hours away, and I'm
The
like,
worst drive ever.
ever.
oh my God.
Ever. And like not hungover, not nothing, because all I did was like went to bed like the day before. Like I was just like a mess. And so we were like driving down this road, and it was like turn. And I was like in the back, and I was like, oh my God. And I was
Worst spot to be. Yeah.
don't know anybody. And I was like, Kate, like we gotta pull over, like I'm gonna puke. And they're just like, Kate, like this girl's gonna puke, like pull over. So they like fucking pull over, couldn't puke, because I look back, and they're like, this van is like of 20 plus people, and
Yeah.
everybody is staring at me, and I was
And
like,
now you got to perform. Now you
right?
got to
Like,
Rude.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry guys, like I can't do it, like my vocals aren't there. So
You got to be like, hey guys, I've said I'm gonna puke. Now I got to actually.
now I gotta puke.
Now you can't.
Right? Like, and I was like, no, I feel better now. And then all of a sudden, the guide and the driver were like, well, Raju, like who I ended up getting to like, no, because he was our head guide.
Okay.
So he was like, well, come sit in the front with me. And so it's like I sat in the front, and then so my guide was like, come sit up like in front with us, because normally it's like when you're looking forward, even like even when I've been seasick with people, they're just like, if you look forward,
Look where you're going. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't like make as big. I don't know.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever. So I was known the entire trip as like the girl who almost puked on
Oh yeah.
the ride. So we got to this random fucking airport, and I was just like, Kate, like where the fuck are we? Like, oh my God. I wish I could like show pictures on the podcast, because it was so ridiculous.
Like sketchy or what?
Yeah, like they had like a investigating room. It was like this curtain, like
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like so weird. Like,
So if
they,
anybody was gonna go skydiving in the rain or with a broken plane, it's
Yeah.
gonna be in
Yeah.
Kathmandu, because
100
they do not care.
well, no, I don't even know what this country was like. This country, this city was like, or town was called, because it was like 4 hours away, and like it wasn't part of our itinerary, right?
Oh,
Like they
wow.
just like took us there because they wanted to get us like up and going. And so there was actually 3 groups of us, and so the first 2 groups hummered off really quick, and
Yeah.
then we're just like, we're sitting there, they searched our bags, and it's like 5 hours later, like
Why are they searching your stuff? Like what's going on? Like the people.
just to make sure, like it's like security, right?
okay.
But
This is a normal thing.
yeah, they put the sticker on, right? They put the sticker on as soon as you get to the airport, but it's like your flight is 5 hours later, so we could like walk into this little village and be like, I'm going to buy a bunch of Coke or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
As one does.
Right? Like, yeah.
Before a flight, that's my favorite.
Right, yeah.
Buy a bag of
Where are we
Coke.
heading? Yeah.
So I'm just like, it was just kind of weird. Like we
Kidding.
just kind of like laughed about that. Kidding. Yeah. Well, let's clarify.
Yeah,
Kidding. Yeah. But
So you get on this rickety ass plane. In my
Yeah.
brain, it sounds like it's going to be like made of wood and like,
no.
you know.
Okay. The funniest thing is like we were like boarding and they're putting fuel in the plane, and this one guy from our tour was standing right under it. And fuel almost spilt on him. Like, you will never be in another country where they're fueling the plane with people standing under it, ever.
I imagine the guy with a jerry can too, just
Right?
like pouring
Like,
it in
just,
there.
like,
Like,
jet
just,
fuel.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, rock on. Like, I'm going to live. Sorry, Mom. Like, yeah, I am going to die, actually.
This is the day I die.
Yeah. And so it's like we had like a 20-minute flight over to the most dangerous airport in the world because
Jesus.
it's like surrounded by mountains with the climate and like everything. It's like, and the runway, it's like like when you're landing on the runway, you're going uphill. Like it's so crazy. And same with like
Weird.
when they take off, they are going downhill and then they take off.
That's
Like,
insane.
It's so freaking crazy.
So you've
And-
gone to the proper airport now.
yeah.
Okay. Now from
So
there
we're
you
in
go to
Lukla,
base
yeah.
camp.
Yeah. So it's like we start the trek. So
Yeah.
we start doing the whole trek.
So this airport you're in
Yeah.
now kind of thing too. Like, do you walk from there to base camp?
There is no vehicles.
There's nothing. So you now like your whole next however many days
Yeah.
is just walking.
Walking.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like figure out a place that Rachelle Berke is just going to go on a vacation and
Yeah.
just walk somewhere. Like,
Walk nonstop. So how long does it take you to get from the airport to? There's got to be stages, I'm assuming, right?
for sure. Yeah. So the next stage was 3 hours. But because our flight was so delayed, because the two groups went before us and then our plane didn't come for so long, we were walking the majority in the dark.
Oh
and
my
none of
God.
us had our headlamps or anything, like, because we thought it was going to be in the morning.
Yeah, of course.
And then,
Okay, so we're walking the dark. We made to stage 1, let's call
Yeah.
it. And then, do you guys camp there, or is there like,
No.
is it an actual city or
no,
like
you have like these tea houses.
tea houses?
Yeah, that's what they're called. So
Okay.
it's like, same with like you go in there, you normally order your dinner,
Yeah.
and then you go up and like unpack your room, and then you
So it's,
go
so
back.
it's a hotel. Let's call it
Basically,
that.
but like it's like very,
Very
like a
limited.
B&B.
It's like
Yeah.
a B&B. It's a hostel.
yeah.
Sort of.
Kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like a guest house. Like in
Yeah.
Thailand, they have a guest
So
house.
from that point, are we officially climbing Everest? Is that are we there yet? Or
Yeah, we're getting there. So it's just like then the next
I don't
day.
mean you know what I mean though. Like there, at a certain point, you start your ascent. Let's call it
Yeah.
that. So from this
trek.
first T.
Well, they call the
house-
airport the gateway to Everest.
Okay, so from technically when you're
Yeah.
off the plane,
Yeah.
you're climbing.
You're doing
Everest.
this,
Wow.
yeah.
So the first day we get to the first tea house. Mm-hmm. The second day,
We went to Namche Bazaar. So that was actually the biggest incline that we've made the entire trek.
this has got to be.
You have a
like-
great memory, by the way.
Yeah. And so it was like actually you could feel the altitude. Like
Yeah.
it's like you're walking, but when you're walking uphill here and you're out of breath, but it's like 10 times worse because it's like I'm not out of shape, but it's like you feel like you're out of shape. Like every single person was like, I feel out of shape. People who were like, some people in our group, they hike mountains all
Yeah.
the time. They're just like, this was just like their
Is it a
bucket
pressure thing? Do you feel like you can't catch your breath?
list. Yeah,
or-
it's just like less oxygen is in the air, right? So
Yeah.
you're just like breathing heavier. So you're just like trying to.
Trying to catch your breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay. No, I was wondering if it is like, even at that point, like we're not even like,
Yeah,
we're
high
not
up.
even talking
There.
like the point here.
Yeah.
Like, you're feeling it already.
Yeah, and I remember we were just like walking up this hill, and every single one of us were just like, "Oh my god, we feel this. Like
Yeah.
we feel the altitude."
What have I done?
Yeah, like
I would feel claustrophobic almost, I think. Like if I can't, like I have a cold.
Yeah.
And I can't breathe out of my nose and I feel like, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't lay down.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you did that.
Wow. So
Yeah.
day 2, we made to, what'd you call it? Something bizarre?
Namche Bazaar.
Okay. So, and that's another little
Little,
town? or?
it's the biggest village
Okay.
there, so
Yeah.
it's actually amazing. So we did 2 days there because we did a acclimatization day.
Okay.
And then, yeah, at Namche Bazaar. Then we went up to, well, we were supposed to go to Tingboche.
I feel like all these names are very similar.
Yeah, right.
How are you supposed to remember all this shit?
Boche.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and then, well, that actually the second night, well,
The second night, the first night, which is
first night, right? All
That's
the
fine.
nights, all the nights.
Yeah.
So we did a climatization day. So we went up to
Okay.
the Everest View Hotel.
Okay.
And then,
What does that include? What is climatization?
okay,
day?
so we're at 3,500 and some feet or something.
Let's put that in
meters,
perspective.
meters.
I don't know, like they must talk about sea level, right? We're talking above sea level.
Yeah, above sea level. So,
So-
like right now, Saskatoon, I think we're at 1,500
So we're 1,500 feet, meters,
feet.
feet above sea level.
Yeah.
You are now at
12,000 and
12,000.
something. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow, that would
So that's-
take a toll on your
That's
body.
bigger.
Yeah.
That's bigger than Table Mountain.
It's outrageous, right?
outrageous.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does the climatization day include?
So it means you hike high, you sleep low. So it's just
Okay.
like to get you used to altitude that you're gonna hike higher too. So it's like we did went to the Everest View Hotel, but it was so cloudy that we couldn't see Everest. So she was being shy that day.
I hear that the weather there is very changes all the time.
Well, it's like you're in the mountains, right? Because it's like people there 5 minutes before us are like, "Oh my god, we just got amazing pictures," and it's
Yeah.
like
5 minutes
we're
later.
just like, oh, "Okay, cool." So
Yeah.
it's like I was drinking. I drank ginger tea with lemon like the entire time. Like
Nice.
I was there.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It's supposed to help with actually altitude and
Oh, the
your
ginger maybe
tummy.
because the
yeah.
ginger is your
Yeah.
That was my reason for having a Moscow Mule on the ship.
Yeah.
yeah. That's the
Settle my
doctor
stomach.
told me to
Right?
have Moscow Mule.
Dr. Bartender said it would help.
Yeah.
So you've done your climatization. You're feeling better. You're breathing better. Is that kind of the idea? Is to
I
get
was breathing
you,
better, yeah.
Yeah.
But I started getting dizzy like that day, and then so we went down. I had a pizza, and then I felt like
as one does climbing
Yeah.
Everest. There's
Right.
a Pizza Hut or is it Domino's?
no. There's actually you would be surprised at the options. Like I was surprised. Like you can get pizzas, spaghetti, everything you can freaking think of. You can get on like when
How
you're
is this
hiking.
possible? You're in like the most remote place.
I know it's
Like,
crazy. Trust me, I know. I don't get it.
It's got to be Amazon.
Yeah, right.
Amazon.
It's Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon. Daddy. Yeah.
Drones.
Yeah. So actually that night I was just like not feeling well, and I remember supper came and it was like I didn't eat anything, and our guide was just like, I went up to the room and he came up to the room and knocked on the door. He's like, if you're not feeling okay, like you have to tell me, like you like for high altitude sickness,
yeah.
right? Like you
Honestly, it's
have
the best
to,
policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just like, my stomach's not feeling good right now and stuff. And he was like, Kate, no, that's fine. Went to bed. And I just remember it's like, because it's nighttime there, so it's daytime here. So I'm
Yeah.
like messaging my friends back home. And I just remember I was messaging my friend Shauna, and I was like, my stomach hurts so bad. Like, I just don't know what to do. Like, I kept going to the bathroom and nothing was happening. And then I went and I sat down and I was like messaging her, and she's like, okay, well, like, just like go try to sit on the toilet. And then all of a sudden it's like, I had to fart, and then I farted and I shit myself
Oh no.
so bad. And I just like messaged her. I'm like, I didn't shit my pants. She's like, you're fucking kidding. Like, and I was like, no, I just like literally pooped my pants. She's like, oh my God, like go to the bathroom. It's like,
This has got to be a double-edged sword because you got to
good.
be relieved.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
oh,
like,
okay.
thank fucking God.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just like, okay, thanks. But then I was up all night, like going to the bathroom and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
something was wrong. And then I just remember I went down for breakfast, and I'm with a bunch of guys, and guys eat fast, right?
Yeah.
Like they all scarf down their breakfasts, and I'm just like sitting there, did not touch a drop of my, like, because you order your breakfast the night before
Yeah.
with your guide. And then he was like, he came and sat with me. He's like, what's going on? And I was like,
You can obviously tell there's something going
yeah.
on. Right?
And I was like, my tummy hurts so bad. Like I was like, I can't eat. And he was like, well, what's up? And I was like, I shit my pants. And like all the guys like on the tour just like looked at me, and they just like looked at me and just like, this poor girl. Like,
Yeah.
like
Just can't catch a break.
yeah. And then so it's like, he's like, Kate, no, like he's like, no, take this away. Like, we're not gonna make her eat. Like,
Yeah.
because he was gonna try to make me eat. And I was like, no, I can't. And then
You got to get the calories in you. I mean, you're climbing a fucking
exactly.
mountain.
That's a big thing. Like
Yeah.
for altitude sickness, like
Energy.
you have to get your calories in. And so I remember just like hiking up the mountain, like guys were just like, here's some like electrolytes, and they're just like giving me everything under the sun. Like I was like, you guys are awesome. Like, thank you so much. And I was like, I remember just like we were hiking up this like steep incline, and I just like looked at Raju and I was like, okay, like how much further? So it's like we're at the back of the group. He's like, this is gonna be 2 hours, and I was like,
oh my god.
I was like, okay, I want to die. Like, and I think it sucks so bad because my stomach was so sick, so sick. Like it hurt so bad, and I was like, oh my god, like I just wanted to cry, like so much. Like I remember I just like sat down. He's like, we're gonna take a few minutes break. Yeah. And then whatever, I made it up. We went to this one place, the village that we were supposed to stay at, and they had no heat anywhere. Something happened, so they had no heat, so we were gonna hike an additional 2 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it wasn't as aggressive. Like it was like less of an incline.
So just to come back to that, there's actual villages up this mountain.
Yeah, so
like
it's like
people live here.
Yeah,
I was surprised by that too.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about that, and I was like, oh,
what?
I didn't realize
What
that.
the
I thought you
hell?
were just like walking through the wilderness.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's like
Because when I imagine you say you stay the night, it's a tent
That's what I thought
Yeah.
too.
by yourself in a sleeping bag, not, oh, by the way, the next place has a ramada.
yeah,
It's not
right?
great.
Like exactly.
There's no pool, but it's nice.
There's no heat or anything.
Yeah.
But there's a ramada there. Yeah.
Wow, so there's actual people living on this mountain, man.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy. There's actually like I spent so much money on like dog food for like the stray
of
the stray
course.
It
Yep.
was like
Breaking your heart.
oh yeah.
Brings you back to that puppy you found in, what town was that? The Curacao?
Curacao.
Yep. You're trying to steal a little boy's dog.
Right? And then almost missed a ship. And,
Yeah. Worth it.
That whole thing.
That whole
Totally.
thing.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah. So,
So you made it to this next place. Okay.
yeah, so we made it there, and that was actually like the first. I woke up the next day, and I just remember being like, I just like ran downstairs, like I feel better. Like I was
Let's go, guys.
yeah, I was so excited, and the guys were actually like jacked up because
Good.
I could see them whispering like behind me, like when we were at our lunch stop, and I was just like, okay guys, like I can fucking see you, I'm not stupid. They're
Yeah.
just like, she's not eating. Like
Yeah.
I was like, my stomach really hurts, like I can't eat. And then
But now you're finally feeling like a human again.
yeah, I
and-
was fucking feeling amazing. So I'm like, let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
Then we start walking, and then I'm like, the altitude hits me. I'm like, oh, like
Somebody
let's not
carry
do
my
this.
pack.
Yeah. I'm tired, but all the time I'm like, where's Mount Everest? I'm tired. Is this the hardest part of the day? Like,
Are we there
how-
yet?
Yeah, right. Like the guys are just like, how they even like still even message me like to this day. It's like, I don't even know, because I was so fucking annoying. I'm like, I'm tired. They're just like, oh, little diva.
Oh, honey.
Yeah,
Oh,
honey. Yeah. And then,
Are we there yet?
yeah, are we there yet? They're like, no, that's Mount Everest over there. So, yeah, so then we got to, after that would be Leboche. And so that was the next village before Gorkshep. And then,
Again, the fact that there's these many villages on this fucking mountain. What the
right?
hell?
And that actually, Leboche was the highest bakery in the world. So we went there, and we had a cupcake because they,
Badass.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's harder. It's different baking at different altitudes. You
Yeah.
have to it's a thing.
I imagine so.
It's 5,000 meters. Like you're 5,000 meters above sea level.
Meters
So-
now. We're talking meters now. We were talking feet before, but now we're talking meters.
So it's like you're at like right here. I think we're at like, I don't know, close to 90% oxygen level. There you're at like close to 50%. Like it's
Wow.
crazy. So
Oh, that would be tough.
yeah. So we did that, and then
So we're not even at base camp yet.
No.
We're not even at base
camp. So the next day's base camp. So we did Leboche. We went to Gorkshep, and then we had lunch there. And I remember we checked everybody's oxygen levels everywhere we went.
Yeah.
And I just remember we were at Gorkshep, and we checked everybody's oxygen levels. Like some people are at 60, some people are at 70.
And how are you checking this, by the way?
They have this like thing that goes in your finger, kind of when you go to the doctor.
Okay.
That if they check your oxygen and your pulse and all that stuff.
Okay.
And so they put it on my finger. I'm at 90%. Like, and that's unheard of, because like on average is 75% that people.
Holy crap.
Yeah, right.
Again, the
People
two
are-
things in the front of your chest are like camels. So
Right?
there's-
Yeah, right. So like, oh,
All the oxygen stays in there.
right. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my God. So everybody still jokes to this day. It's like, you should go summit Everest because like your oxygen levels are ridiculous. And then, but it's funny because like when we did Gorkshep to base camp, like we were hiking over like huge boulders and rocks and stuff. Like it was not enjoyable, like at all. Like I don't enjoy anything. Like I enjoy the experience, anything about it. But I was like, I remember like looking at the guy and I was like, I fucking paid for this. Like I was so upset. Like I was like, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. Like in my entire life. Yeah. Like you're gasping for air, you're climbing over boulders. My legs are short. So I'm just like, like people are helping me up and helping me down and stuff. And it's like, oh my God, like I just can't even deal with all this. And then we get to base camp and then of course I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like
it's the best day ever.
Bipolar bitch over here.
That was your end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Base camp was the end. And then we had to go back and I was like, oh, but it wasn't as hard going back because you're kind of going down, right? Like you're.
What do you mean kind of going down? You're actually going down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Kind of ish, right? It doesn't seem like it when you're climbing over rocks and stuff,
Fair
right?
enough.
So
where does the helicopter come in?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
well, before we get to that one,
oh my gosh.
If Everest is 100, so from 0 when you arrive to 100 is the peak.
Yeah.
Where is base camp?
So Everest, I think peak is like at 29,000 feet and base camp's at 15,000.
It's about halfway.
Halfway.
So you climbed halfway up Everest.
Basically.
That's badass.
Yeah.
All right.
Rock on.
So you're making your way back down. I thought the helicopter was at base camp.
No.
So you've made it up there.
Yeah.
Your reward
Yeah.
is a fucking helicopter ride home.
Well, so we made it there and we're just like, okay, this is cool, but it's not as cool. It's like if you go in the summity months like of May and stuff, like there's more tents there. There's more people like actually going to summit Everest.
Okay.
So it's like October isn't really like one of those months that they go and summit.
Yeah.
So
it's not the club season.
Yeah,
it's not
the club,
as busy in the clubs.
right?
Yeah.
So whatever, we walk back and you can watch the sunset over Everest. You have to hike up because from Gorkshep you can't see because the mountains, like you're like surrounded by the tallest mountains in the world, right? So it's like even at base camp you don't see Everest. Like you see Leboche, which is the 4th tallest mountain in the world.
That's insane.
And so they're like, okay, well, we can watch the sunset over Everest, but you have to like hike up Kalapatar. And like these 2 mountain guys, they're like, yeah, we're going. And then I was like, I'm going. And the guides were like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go. And they're just like, okay, like 10 people in our group. There's only 3 of us who actually went and did it.
Yeah.
And I just remember like we were at the point and it was like, the sun was like starting to set. And I was like, does the view get any better higher up? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm good here.
Yeah,
and like, yeah, we're good.
I'll take my selfie
Yeah.
here. We're fine.
Yeah.
And then, so the boys went higher up, but, yeah, so I just like, it was the most amazing thing. Like, 'cause I just, like my grandma died like the day before I went on this trek. So it's like, it was, I don't know, it was just like a good feeling to me. I feel like, I felt like it was like, I just felt like she was there with me. Like, it was just like, I don't know.
Nice.
I just felt like,
I remember you texted back about that, being like, "Oh, what do I do? Do I leave?" And I think we both said the same thing of like, "What would your grandma want you to do?"
Right?
She'd be like, "Climb that damn mountain."
Climb it, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. So it's like, I just like remember being like, I was like felt a bit of peace with that. So it's like, it was really good. So
right there, everything was worth it.
Yeah. So it's like I went down, then we had supper, went to bed, and then in the morning it was like 3 a.m. Didn't sleep because I didn't sleep the last 3 nights at high altitude. Like you don't sleep really. Like
you just physically couldn't, or
physically couldn't. Like in and out. Like I don't know, this typical Audrey problem.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What else?
I know what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what
Don't
that
go to
feels
high
like.
altitude. Yeah.
Yeah, then I'll be a zombie.
Yeah. So I remember a guy came and knocked on the door. It was actually my birthday day. He was like, "Happy birthday. Like, we're going to go to like do the sunrise hike or something." And I was like, "I'm too tired." And he's like,
There's like 50 people outside with cake waiting for you. They're like, "She's not coming."
he's like, "Okay, like, get like a couple more hours of sleep," which I wouldn't. And then Nicole, like the only other girl on the track, she came. She's like, "You're not coming?" I was like, "Yeah, girl, I'm coming. So I was like,
second wind. Here we go.
Put on like my winter pants and like we just like hiked up, and we didn't even go like I feel like as high as we did for the sunset hike, but
Yeah.
like she loves the stars, I love the stars. Like we both are just like big star people. So it's like we went there, took a bunch of star pictures, watched kind of the sunrise like over Mount Everest. It was not as spectacular as the sunset. So then we just like went back down, ate some breakfast, and then I remember the people who hiked all the way up there, just like to Kalapatar. Like they hiked for 3 hours, and there's like, no, it was nothing special.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah. So we're just like, like it's crazy. Like when you're that high up, like we seen their pictures, and there's no, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it's like no ozone layer. I have no idea. Like I'm not a scientist, but like their pictures are like so vivid. Right, like we're just like, well, this is amazing. And
You're
like,
that much closer to the stars. I mean,
Yeah.
as
No
dumbed
light
down as you can
pollution.
say it,
Yeah.
like you're that much closer.
Yeah.
No light pollution, no
Yeah,
pollution in
that's-
general.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever, the people who hiked all the way up there, just like, you guys didn't miss anything. So we're just like,
Okay, that's good.
whatever. We got our star pictures.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
yeah. So then we just had breakfast, and then they're like, hey, your helicopter is coming to pick you up. Like badass shit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You had to like breathe a little bit, like a sigh of relief, like
For sure. It's like,
It's over.
we
It's done.
yeah.
Did it feel like that? Did it feel like oh, thank God it's over, or more like a
No, because we still
should've
had to
went home.
hike up a goddamn fucking huge ass hill with our our bags. Like we had no porters. They were just like, okay, you guys got to carry your bags. And I was like, oh my God. Like I
this
just
was not in the brochure?
right? Like I'm like, I want to die right now. So we carried our bags up there. And it's so funny because one of the helicopters that got a family before us, the air from the helicopter blew one of the bags down. Only bag mine.
Like down the mountain? Or
Yeah,
like
down
way?
the
Yeah.
whole mountain.
Oh,
I was
geez.
like, one of the guys ran down and got it for me.
That's
But,
nice,
like,
yeah.
I was like,
Can you go get that for me?
of course. There's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
And then he made it back.
yeah, made it back. We had to do like a little short, it was like a 4-minute helicopter ride because it's like super thin air. So it's like a special helicopter that comes and gets you. You can only put 3 people in.
Oh, wow.
And like even he was going up because they put like a bunch of shit to bring down to other villages or something.
Right.
So there's like, he's like, I'm going to test like if we're too overweight. So he went up and then went down, like, and he's like, hey, no, we're good. And then he's like, went. And then, yeah, we just like went 4 minutes down. Then we went to the Lukla airport, and then we went to Kathmandu, like from all in helicopters.
It must have felt like in an instant.
yeah,
I imagine.
it was crazy.
Because you finally get to the base station with the thing you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then the ride home, it's almost like going like any trip. Like the ride to the trip
Yeah.
seems like it takes forever. And then the ride home, you're like, holy fuck, we're back already?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? So it was actually kind of funny because like all the pilots were from Canada, like
No
of
shit.
the helicopters. So,
Badass.
yeah,
Go
it's
Canada.
pretty cool.
We're
Yeah,
good at
go
that.
Canada. Yeah.
So from this is now giving you the, let's say, the courage to climb Kilimanjaro.
Kilimanjaro.
So
Yeah.
that's the next one you want to do.
That's what I'm doing next.
So like, yeah, I think we kind of talked a little bit about like comparatively though. Did you find out though how they compare? Like,
well, I think it's higher, quicker, right? So it's like
Okay.
we did 9 days up to base camp.
Yeah.
This one you do 7 days up and down.
at least you kind of
Oh,
know what
okay.
to expect.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like Dimox or whatever. I didn't bring it actually on the last trek, but guys started giving, when my stomach got upset, they're just like, they started giving me like a bunch of pills. And then I'm definitely going to take it when I do Kilimanjaro because it's like,
It's going to help.
yeah. So it's like, it's actually what they take for glaucoma, and it just gives you more red
More red blood cells going.
red blood cells.
That's
and,
awesome.
Yeah. So
Well, this has been crazy cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of all the people we know,
yeah.
you're the only one I know that has climbed Everest, at least attempted to.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
attempted,
Base
right?
camp is more than I'm going to ever do in
Still
my
counts.
lifetime and anything.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking about all this stuff. I mean, like, I don't think people realize, like you're let's be honest, you're just a little girl, but you've fucking done like everything. It's insane.
Yeah.
So if Kilimanjaro is your next one, what would you consider to
Spice
be
Girls is my
Spice
next.
Girls? Sorry,
Yeah, sorry,
Let's
okay,
not,
let's be real here.
Spice Girls
Spice up
first.
your life.
Spice up
Yeah,
your life.
yeah.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
Kilimanjaro is next. What's next after that for Rachelle? We have the
Antarctica.
Africa thing. Antarctica.
Yeah. 100%. It's already like, I'm going to book the deposit. Like it's next
You're going
February.
to Antarctica.
Yeah.
Wow.
By myself.
So we're
Oh my
definitely
God.
going to have a part 2.
We'll have to have a part 2 for
Yeah.
sure, because this is, you're just ongoing. This is amazing.
Ongoing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
Audrey, do you have any other questions you want to ask her before we go?
Not on air.
Not on air. Fantastic. I think we're about to start, ready to start the naked party. We're gonna,
Yes.
Yeah. We pretended we got engaged in St. Lucia.
Yeah,
so it
I was her Puerto Rican wife.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It was
See,
beautiful.
We're going to have the honeymoon now.
Yeah, we are.
From that. So hopefully everybody enjoyed this, and we'll see you guys all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.